what are your priorities? Now, I ask you this, and there might be a few things come to your mind. You know, maybe school, work, this, business, but you probably haven't sat down and actually figured out. You probably, what are my priorities? And you haven't adapted your life and set your life up around those priorities. Now, about a year ago, I was at that same point. I was on the right path, and I've been on self-improvement for a few months, but I didn't really have clear priorities. I wasn't really sure what I was doing. I hadn't really set up my life around fitness. I was just like, all right, all I'm doing is fitness. I didn't plan when I was going to do fitness. I didn't schedule, where it fits in with the rest of my life. I didn't figure it out. So a lot of days I'd go to work out and my parents would be like, all right, can you go do this? Or I'd, go to do a workout and like, all right, we're going out. Or things would happen. I just didn't have that set up. I hadn't set up my life around my priorities because I didn't understand this sort of term of life setup. If you're in this situation, this video is for you. I'm going to be explaining to you what are the different levels of priorities, why priorities are important, how you can change your priorities, and then how to set your life up to most benefit your priorities. Very simple idea. So firstly, priorities are basically the things that you put the most focus and attention and work into. So say for instance, you go to school, right? Say for instance, you're a student and you want to get really good grades. School is probably your priority, right? And so that means that if you have a free hour and you have the choice between doing a school assignment or watching a movie, you're probably going to pick that school assignment because school is your priority, right? If your priority was to just have, be entertained, you'd watch the movie, but it's not. Your priority is school, so you focus on school. That's what a priority is. Next, why are priorities important? So priorities are important because it gives you a rule to follow, right? For example, as I said before, if you have an hour, right, and say for instance your priority is working out, right? You're getting into the gym and your priority at the moment is working out. You have a school assignment that you could do, you have some friends you could hang out with, or you could go to the gym, right? You haven't been to the gym yet that day. If your priority is the gym or working out, then you're going to pick working out. You're going to go to the gym because it's your priority. So basically, priorities are important because it allows you to put more focus towards one thing, or maybe two or three things. A lot of people have more than one priority. Obviously, for me, I have one main priority and then a few like second, third, and fourth priorities. I'm going to run through the sort of 5 different levels of priorities in a second. Now, over the last few weeks, I've developed a system of 5 levels of priorities, basically how much attention and time you put into each thing, and I've given them all names, so it's sort of a system that you can use and you can follow to identify your priorities. So basically, with the system that I've developed, there is 5 levels of priorities. So level 1, backtracking. This is something that you put 0 time into at all. It's not even on your radar. Something you put 0 hours per week into. Maintenance. This is the level where you just put in enough time so that you don't backtrack. So this is generally 1 to 4 hours per week where you just do enough so that you don't backtrack. Generally 1 to 4 hours a week, just enough so that you don't backtrack. The next level is level 3, which I like to call creeping forwards. This is where you put generally 4 to 8 hours per week, just enough hours in so that you are slightly creeping forward. You're still making progress. It's nothing huge and it's not sort of like your top 3 priorities, but you're still putting in a decent amount of time into it and you're still going forwards slowly. Now, level 4 is what I call top 3 priorities. So this is the things that are in your top 3, or after your first priority, they're your next top 3 priorities. Generally, you put between 8 to 15 hours a week into these. This is generally the things that are like your side hustle, right? So say you have a full-time job, which, takes up 40 or 50 hours a week, and then you have that side business that takes 10, 12, 14 hours a week. Or, maybe it's the gym and you've got school or whatever, and you put in 12 hours a week. These are like your top 3 priorities, so the things that you spend most of your time on outside of that number 1 priority. And then finally, level 5 is your top priority, the number 1 priority. This is the thing that you generally put like 15 plus hours, like minimum of 15 hours a week. For some people like Elon Musk, his priority would be his business, and he probably puts like 80 or 90 or 100 hours a week into this. Now that's a very extreme example. For some people, it might be school and they put 50 hours a week into that. It might be their job and they put 50 hours a week. Whatever it is, it's just your number 1 priority, and that's level 5. So those are the 5 levels of priorities. So how do you set better priorities? Now, personally, I would use the 5-level system that I've just explained to you guys to set better priorities. So what I would do is, one side you've got, level 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then on the other side of a piece of paper, write down everything you put your attention to. And for the average person, this will be 20, 30, 40, 50 things, right? And what you need to do is you need to take those things and try and cut out as many as you can, but then those top 5 or 10 things, put them in orders, right? So your number 1 priority, then the next 3 top things, and then, the next things that you sort of put a bit of time into, but not much, and sort of just put those priorities, figure out what level they're at, so that if you have a spare hour and you've already completed all the stuff for your top priority, then maybe you do your second. The reason you need to write this down or put it in your phone or a Word doc or a piece of paper is so that it's tangible. You can actually physically see, all right, my priority is this, right? Once I've done that, my next priority is this. Next priority is this, right? And so on. That's sort of why you need to set better priorities, and that's how they're useful. So how priorities change my life. So priorities change my life because basically if I could go back a year, right? If I could go back a year, back to April 2023, when I was 4 months into my self-improvement fitness journey, and I could go through and do this and use the 5 levels of priorities that I've just given you and go through and figure this out, I would be months ahead, maybe even a whole year ahead of where I am now, just because of the wasted time and the wasted potential. So guys, I hope this video has helped you. Just before you guys go, I've created a free Discord community called Teamwork Unfiltered. This is what it looks like here. The link is in the channel description, so go check that out. We're trying to build a community up to 100 members by the end of the year, so go join that. Help me get on our mission, help a bunch of other people in there, give advice, ask questions. Make sure you go join, make sure you don't miss out on that. Subscribe if this video is helpful, join the Discord server. Thank you guys for watching, I hope this has helped you. Take this into your life, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.